What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. In this video I'm going to bring you a quick kind of guide into how I actually shoot these videos and the equipment that I'm actually using. This is only going to be focused on the stuff that you're actually seeing and hearing that comes off the camera and the lighting. So I'll have my camera lens, shotgun mic, and my general lighting setup, and kind of give you guys an idea of how that has worked and some things where you may be able to save a little bit of money on, do something a little bit different if you're wanting to do a different type of setup on a little bit more budget oriented. You do not need the most expensive equipment out there to do videos. And with that being said, let's jump in. First thing, the camera, what we're shooting on right now, this is the Sony A7R IV. And the reason why I switched to this camera, I previously did the Nikon Z6 II, which I think is actually better at video than the A7R IV, but the A7R IV is better at photo tracking subjects. It just has a better autofocus system. I had very bad luck with the A7 or the Z6 II with it tracking moving objects. For example, my 1-year-old son, it had a lot of difficulty doing that. So this video is shot on the A7R IV, and it's currently shooting in 4K, 24 frames per second. Yep, it does pretty good. The lens you're seeing is the Sony. This is the 24mm 1.2 G Master lens. It's probably, I think, one of the better 24mm lenses out there. I really loved my Nikon 1.8S, but it was just as big as the 1.4 here, and I think the 1.4, I just like Sony's G Master lenses. Their autofocus is way better. They have way better technology in there that's a little bit more faster autofocusing than some of the old wire to focus systems out there. And for my shotgun mic, I am using the Asden. I forget what the model number is on this. I'll probably have to look this up. It is the Asden SMX15. It's a $200 shotgun microphone. The reason why I went with this over Rode is because I bought this during COVID and everything was basically back ordered. It was the only one I could find. And I kind of wish I would have got one of the Rode ones. So I would recommend probably getting a Rode one if you look into that. I previously had a Rode, one of their Pro Plus microphones from one of their really old ones. The one that was really hard to get the battery in and out of, and I really like that microphone. I think it did a little bit better with the audio than this one that I have here. So that's it for that. For my actual lighting setup I have here, which you can see, turn it off, turn it on. This is the Godox SL60W. The best budget light out there. It's a continuous 60 watt light. Comes with this nice little dandy remote, so you can turn it on, off, change how bright it is. And for the price point, $134, I got it on sale for $99. It's one of the better lights out there, if you ask me. For the price point, it's very, very difficult to get the light that you need right here. And I only have it set at 35%, so it really does go up in, as you can see here, it gets very bright. That's only at 68%, so it's definitely well suited for any type of video work. You could do photo work on it also. For the price point, it's a no-brainer. For the softbox, I actually have, this was a little bit of a splurge. I have the Aperture Mini Dome 2, which isn't the cheapest option out there. You can get cheaper options, but Aperture softboxes that they have are excellent. They break down easily, they're well built, they're easy to put together, just assemble. I did not need a large one. I kind of actually wanted a smaller one, mainly because my setup here is not all that large, so I went and did that. And for holding that, I actually have the newer C-stand. It was basically the cheapest C-stand I could find, $109. I think it's $10 or $20 off because they have a new one out. And this is another thing I would highly recommend getting. It is a beast. It is one of the most heaviest, well-built. I mean, if you're thinking about putting this on some type of regular light stand, I would get the C-stand just because it's so much better than the light stand that I had before. Well worth the $110. It's really solid. There's been some reviews about it coming damaged when it ships to you, but mine came in perfect condition, and it's so heavy that I really think that it would hold up, or if it got dropped or something in shipping. That's the only negative, is it's really heavy, but I would highly recommend that too. And that's really it. The camera, I think any of the cameras out there, any of the mirrorless ones, any of the Canon R, any of the Nikon Z, even the Nikon Z6, the video on that, if you're just getting something for video, I think that's probably the best one out there. The Nikon system for going between photo and video and just how easy it is to set up their video settings is hand down the best. This Sony A7R IV was a pain to set up for video, and I still don't think it's great. It's not as easy to customize or just go through the menu settings. I have not used any of the Canon R series cameras for that, but any of those will work. RP, R, R6. I wouldn't recommend the R5 probably just because of the price point, but if that's what you need, you could do that. Any of the full frame ones will do great for video. They just all have a different purpose. And for my lights, this will be the last thing I talk about. I have some Philips Hue lights here. This one actually needs something to mount to it. I keep meaning to get an like some type of desk lamp for it, but it is basically just sprung through right there, which isn't the best solution, but that's what we got for now. Then I have a little, I forget what this thing's called. This is the Pixel G2S. It's just a mini light. I'm not going to shine it directly at you, but and then I got a little Odin tripod here that I use. I'm also using the Odin tripod for this, but I probably wouldn't recommend it mainly because it's not tall enough. That's been my only negative for that, is that it's just not tall enough. So that is my video setup and how I have things set up. Again, for video, if you're just doing that, the Nikon Z series I really think is the way to go. And their lenses are cheap. You can get the 24, the 1.8. Some of them are more expensive, but if you can get them used somewhere, you can get them for a really good deal. So that's it. Things I would definitely 100% recommend. The Godox Lite is a no-brainer for the price point. Any 24 millimeter lens I think is a must. 20, 24, depending on if you're doing a lot of vlogging, you may want to look into a 20, but I like the 24 length. I've previously done a 35 millimeter, but it was just a little bit too long for me, so I'd steered clear of that. And any of the Philips Hue lights are great. Camera, you could probably get a cheaper option, but I want something a little bit better for photo, and I honestly am not sure I'm going to keep it. I may look at the Canon R6 just because the files are so large and it's kind of laggy when you're doing photos. If you really load that buffer up, man, those files are massive and it takes a while to write to the cards. So that's it. If you have any comments, questions, leave them below. I will try to leave links. I think there's links to most of this below anyways, but I will leave links to things below if you'd like to purchase this. Please, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. It does help the channel out, gets things going, doesn't cost anything, so that's helpful. Hope you have a good rest of the day, good weekend, whatever's going on, and be safe out there, and I'll see you guys next time.